Okay, guys, just a couple of injury deals just to make you guys aware of that. Chris Olave's in the concussion protocol, and Tyrann Mathieu had a forearm injury and did not return to the game. So that's kind of the injuries, at least that I'm aware of to this point. Thoroughly disappointed in the game. It was not acceptable. It was not good enough. It wasn't good enough from a coaching standpoint. It wasn't good enough from a playing standpoint. And we've got a lot of getting better to do, and we got a short time to do it. And so, we need to get some guys healthy, but we've got to play better than we did today in all areas.
What do you think happened in the second half? Like second quarter, you guys kind of had some fire, got the turnovers.
Yeah, well, we didn't tackle. I mean, I think that was the biggest thing. I mean, I thought our tackling was atrocious in the game. And so, when you don't tackle, you give up explosive plays and you give up big plays, and then it just kind of snowballed on us a little bit, but it was not good enough.
Dennis, this team has never given up this many points or yards since you've been either coordinator or head coach. How do you account for that, and kind of what do you see when you look at those numbers on the stat sheet?
We have to tackle better. I mean, I thought that was the biggest thing in the game. We didn't tackle in the game, and look, let's make no mistake about it. I mean, when it comes to the defense, that's on me. I got to do a better job with our guys. I got to make sure we understand what we're doing. We got to do more tackling drills. We got to, whatever the case may be. But it was not a good defensive performance at all. And look, I mean, that needs to be an area that we can count on. And it's been an area that we can count on, but right now it's not.
Dennis, is there Spencer did today?
I thought overall, he did some good things. I mean, there were some encouraging things, some things that he's going to learn from, from a mistake standpoint on his part. I don't think we did enough around him to help him. I mean, it was hard for us to be able to run the football. I thought they really won the kind of the interior part of the line of scrimmage, really probably on both sides of the ball. I think they won the line of scrimmage. I thought he did some things really well early in the game, and in particular the first half. And then, as the second half kind of went on, I thought, they started to pressure him a little bit more, we weren't able to be as good in protection, and, it made it more challenging for him.
Dennis, was there any commonality, any common thread you could find in the problems with the tackling? Was there sort of one thing, or is there anything?
Well, look, I mean, I think part of it's angles, okay? It's technique, all right? It's wrapping up, So there's a lot of fundamental things that we're not good enough with the tackling, and I think it starts with leverage and angles. That's where it starts, and then the fundamental of actually making a tackle. We got to do a better job of wrapping up. But that's 2 weeks in a row that we haven't done a good job of tackling, and that's probably our biggest concern. You talk about explosive plays. A lot of those are coming, on underneath plays that become explosive plays.
Is that something you can fix in 4 days?
It's something we better fix in 4 days.
How does something like that spring up from a strength to I mean, is there a rhyme or reason?
I don't really know. You know what I mean? I don't have that answer right now as to what that challenge is. But I think, one of the areas it starts with is, being able to put yourself in a position to be able to get off the field. And when you get off the field, you play less plays. And so I think that's part of our issue too.
Is how much of tackling technique versus just effort?
Well, I think it's a combination of both, I think later on in the game, I think we could have attacked the ball carrier a little bit more. And so we'll look at the tape, but it was not good enough. And I got to do a better job.
Dennis, after a game like this, do you welcome a game ban on a Thursday night? Get out of the system?
Yeah, you're probably a little too early to ask me that question.
What's the mindset like right now? I mean, you got some
real key leaders also out. Aaron, Jason,
Yeah.
Derek, I mean, the leadership of the team.
Yeah, well, yeah, look, it's challenging, but, we can't sit here and sulk and moan. We got to figure out how we're going to get better. I told the team in there, we got to get better, and we got a short period of time to do it. And everybody needs to look at themselves, coaches, players, everybody, all right, and make sure we're doing everything we possibly can to get this thing going in the right direction, because right now it's not where we want it to be.
Going back to what you were saying a minute ago about maybe not attacking the ball carrier at the end of the game, are you saying you felt like some of the guys weren't giving complete effort? Like, is there anything that?
I'm saying we missed a lot of tackles, and we need to do a better job of tackling.
When you say coaching obviously can be a part of the equation, was there anything on any of those plays in particular where schematically backfired or anything?
Well, look, we made a couple of changes as the game went on in terms of how we were setting our front to try to, deal with some of the run plays that we were getting. I don't think we did a great job of crack replace. I just think we played poorly, and when you do that, obviously you got to look at yourself as a coach, myself, all the coordinator, position coaches. I think we all got to look at ourselves and see how we can be better. So that's what we'll do this week.
What happened do you know what happened on the play with Jonathan Abram earlier in the game where he appeared like he tried to call a timeout and it wasn't given to him, so he was on the ground whenever the ball was snapped? Like, did the coaches not see that he was trying to call a timeout? Did the officials not see it?
Yeah, well, the officials didn't see it, and it happened right about the time that the, snap was being made. Yeah, I don't think anybody really saw it in time to get the timeout called.
Obviously, there was a lot more to it on defense today, but the decision to stick with the corners on the sides instead of having Marshawn follow like you have in the past, is there any particular reason for that?
No, look, I mean, we matched them the first game, last year, and then the second game we didn't match, and so I think we have confidence in our guys, and I didn't feel like that was the challenge today, I felt like the challenge was the underneath throws that, became long plays, and the running plays that, became long plays because, we didn't do as good a job getting them on the ground as we needed to.
And, yeah, on top of everything else, the pressures that didn't result in sacks, he plays a lot, is that?
Yeah. Well, there was a lot to be frustrated about, and so there's not a lot of areas other than having 3 takeaways in the game. There wasn't a lot of areas defensively that we can, say was very good, and so we'll have to go back to the drawing board and figure out how we can be better.
Can we talk a little bit about going down 17 and then really being able to rally? Can you tell us how the team was doing on the sideline?
Yeah, look, I think all the way through the first half, I think our guys were in it. Our guys were excited. Our guys kept battling. Even with losing guys like Chris Olave, who I think is an important part of what we do, and Tyrann Mathieu, and some of those guys that I thought our guys. I thought our guys fought. There's a lot of energy in the building at that time, and it really didn't start to snowball until the second half.
Coach, a couple times with the checkdowns down to the running back, especially when linebackers came in through the A-gaps on blitz. Is that something where the safety has to come down and help, or is that a corner issue?
Well, I'm not sure exactly which particular play that you're talking about.
Came out on the wheel. No, that might have been the curl route that Godwin got down the sideline and was missed tackles.
Yeah, I'm still not exactly sure which.
Take time for one more, please. Did you have any extra words with Spencer, or any counsel for him before his first start?
Nothing other than just go out there and go play. You know what I mean? Like, let's don't put too much pressure on this deal. Just go out and do what you've been doing since you were, that high, and go have fun doing it. And look, I thought early in the game, I thought he did some really good things. And then I think, as the game went on, the score changed, things became more difficult.
You stick with him through this as a start?
Yeah, that's my intention, yeah.